Just think what you want to do, what you want to be, and then become. It's easier said than done, but that's the only way.
Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast with TEDxΔaKao, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Quang Đỗ. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. My name is Quang. I am a German-born and raised Vietnamese, overseas Vietnamese. Grew up all my life in Germany. Then after some time, became more curious about Vietnam and my Vietnamese side. And after I graduated there, moved a bit closer to Vietnam. I moved to Singapore first, spent a few years there, explored Vietnam from there, and quite recently moved full-time to Saigon and now based here, running my business from here, and very happy.
Wow, it seems like you have been discovering the world, right?
Absolutely.
And how do you usually begin your days, and what items you would never leave the house without?
So I'm a simple person. I get up and try to get to work as fast as possible. I keep things very simple. And that's why I use a lot of pen and paper, usually from Muji actually. And first thing I start my day with is sitting down, reflecting a little bit. What is going to be the top 1-2 priorities of my day? I never try to make it more than 3. I write them down, and as I go through my day, I try to cross them off as effectively and hands-on as possible.
So do you have like good habits or like bad habits? Sometimes you would never share with anyone, but today you're gonna give us that special, kind of like sharing, special sharing, like about your good and bad habits and how you navigate this to make it as the motivations for everyday life.
So we all have good and bad habits. I'm trying my best to lean on the good. I think a few things that I get right is the basics. I exercise fairly often. I sleep well. I try to get, a lot of movement in my day, and I just have prolonged hours of deep work. So that's kind of the things that I think are good. The bad, I spend probably way too much time on the screen, as many people do probably. I sometimes overwork a little bit. I might focus a lot on the business now at this stage in life, where I'm sometimes maybe could prioritize on my friends and focus on my social life a bit more. But there are seasons in life, and I think for me it's building season. And so, I see it as a good actually as well.
I believe that everybody know you as the founder of Overseas Vietnamese. Can you tell us a little bit about like your community and how you operate it this day?
Yeah, in simple terms, it's a community for people like me, overseas Vietnamese, and we have a professional focus. So this is not just a social network, but we focus a lot on using the network for our professional benefits. We do mentorship, we support each other, we have a job board, and we just try to uplift our community, whether we are professionals or entrepreneurs. We are now at very close to 800 members. It's a global community. We have hubs in all major cities where there are Vietnamese. I'm based in Saigon. I have a remote team, and we operate basically globally. But the, I think, interesting thing about OVS is very member driven. So a lot of the value, a lot of the things that are happening are actually hosted by members, run by members. And so we have a very distributed but very strong foundation of core members who all want to contribute. And the beauty of OVS, it's a heritage-based community. Everyone is Vietnamese. And so everyone is very willing, motivated, and intrinsically driven to help each other out.
So I see that it's amazing thing that you do when you can actually connect and, keep in touch and allow people from all around the world, especially those who are Vietnamese, right? To be a part of your community. And so, which leads me to the next questions is that how you can actually, inspire them, through the screens, right? Sometimes you cannot travel everywhere at all at the same time. So how you can navigate it and put people value first when you are not able to meet face to face this day. And I believe that in some other countries, work from home is also the thing now. And so how we can actually cultivate, maybe you can cultivate the experience and the connections when we are working through the screen. So perhaps that you can give us some tips.
Yeah. So in person is still king. We always try to connect online only to have the ultimate goal of meeting in person. So that's the same for overseas Vietnamese. We're very lucky that we have great members who are not just members, but they are also leaders. And so I try to activate as many leaders and leads per city so that they bring our members together. And so anything that we do, we try to get people ultimately to be meeting in person.
Yeah.
And the best way to do this is to identify the few that are natural leaders, that are naturally intrinsically driven, and that want to bring people together, that are passionate about connecting. And once you identify those, these are your gems, and you need to get them on board and say, you are a leader. You bring our people together. If you're passionate about this, we would love for you to take the lead for your place and bring our people together. And that has been working across 30, 40 plus cities.
So you have a specific stories of someone that you feel like you have the most impact on them, and from, maybe from a very shy person to actually take the lead and become a leader, one of the leaders of your community?
I think those that are the leaders are naturally a bit more bold, but I do have one case of a person who has been leading one of our chapters. She has been a bit more on the shy end, and I have been trying to groom her a bit more into leadership. And I think the first step starts with just, breaking through maybe beliefs that you hold about yourself. I'm not a big fan of labels. And so a lot of people label themselves as shy, label themselves as more introspective. And I try to break through it, and I try to tell them to not think of themselves as such. Just think what you want to do, what you want to be, and then become. It's easier said than done, but that's the only way. And so, we had within my team one of those success cases, and within the membership, many of those success cases. A lot of people removing their limiting beliefs and really breaking through and becoming the person they want to become.
So one lesson that you learned from building your own communities then, especially here in this case, is overseas Vietnamese, and how you envision your community will be in the next 5 years.
So one lesson and one insight I have, and it only becomes stronger, is we are social animals. Humans need connection. We all are drawn to each other, and we can only succeed if we go together. I haven't seen any person succeeding on their own, by themselves. And so we're intrinsically wired for community. We, social life makes us happy, and social connections make us happy. And so it's a very deep part of us, and, running the community only reinforces that. The second question was my vision for the community. I see OV as my lifetime project, so I don't have a exit plan in there as well. What I really hope and wish, and this is more aspirational long term, is to really reconnect our people. And this is easier said than done. Vietnam has a bit of a complex history. We are the younger generation, and I wouldn't go as far as to dare to say, I bring everyone together, but we can make moves towards each other to really come together productively, supporting each other professionally, helping each other out as one Vietnamese people globally.
When I hear your story, I feel like I should become a part of overseas Vietnamese when I was, in other countries. Because when I was started, I do feel lonely, and I didn't know where to start. And if we actually have that kind of like support system around us, and, just connecting by being who we are, right? Like in this case, we are Vietnamese. Then that would like a big help to start the career, or any kind of like starting any projects, or when you need any kind of help. What surprised you the most about the growth and the impact of the OV community so far?
I'm very surprised by how well Vietnamese will connect if they're able to. And this is interesting to say, because a lot of us succeed in isolation. I think we're a very industrious, a very hardworking people, and so people will do their best. It's also the Asian Confucian upbringing to succeed, but often in isolation, right? And so the surprising thing is, once we get together, even as total strangers, we connect so fast, so well, and are actually very open and willing to help each other. And I think what we have been missing is kind of this system and infrastructure to get us together. And this is, in all humility, the thing that I want to create. It's a network I would want that has existed for me and for you as well. And so we're on it. But that is an insight that is very important, that once you find each other as someone you relate to, you can support each other very well, and you succeed much more. So OV at the core is really community and membership, and everything we do will always drive back to that common core. But we do have very exciting things planned, and for my long-term vision, there is a lot of things that will be conducive and feed into the community as the core construct. One thing of that will be jobs and opportunities. So we look into actually helping Vietnamese who want to go back to Vietnam get placed, get the opportunities, get a good role in Vietnam. So we're actually setting up a more recruiting, headhunting entity as well. The other part is we want to tell stories. which is number 3. We go a bit more into media. We just launched a podcast, which will be launching soon. And I want to interview people in Saigon. We just secured a studio. So I'm very proud and very excited to share just more stories of overseas Vietnamese, because like you said, people are operating in isolation. You know, we sometimes don't see the role models that look like us a little bit. And so there are so many successful Vietnamese. Their voices are maybe a bit quiet, and I want to bring them more to the world stage. And then maybe the fourth, more in the long-term future, is really settling a strong base in Saigon. And I might open something physical in the next 2-3 years. Yeah. It might be a members club, or it might be some space where our members can hang out. We already hang out a lot, but we now, going into restaurants, brunch places, coffee shops. At some point, there might be a OV place, which is kind of the ultimate dream. And we can use it for podcasting. We can use it to hang out, to co-work, and just have a good time.
Our event is upcoming on the August 2nd. And I think like everyone in our community want to know what you're going to share here. So can you give us a glimpse of like your talk?
Yeah. I think the title captures as well. The current title is, "Are you one connection away from a new life?" Yeah. And that really encapsulates the message that I want to get across, that we work hard, we try our best, and there's another element that really can help us in life and help us succeed. And that's really connection, right? And I think we overinvest, or we are very good in putting in effort into whatever work we do, especially as Asians. But then there is the visibility part, the access part, the connection part. And I really want to talk about that. And there's this term called social capital, which basically means the amount to which opportunities come to you. If financial capital is your monetary wealth, then social capital is your social wealth. Yeah. And that's a very, I think, overlooked concept. And I will talk about more on this at the event.
Thank you for being a part of this podcast, and we look forward to hear you and connect with you.
I'm super excited. Thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for listening. And for today's podcast, it's not possible with the support from Muji Vietnam. And looking forward to see you next time.